Hey everyone and welcome to Stealing Cinema, where we take a look at prominent directors and what was their inspiration during their filmmaking process.
And I just like the idea of moments because to me that's what cinema is. It's what you remember. You know, if you think back on a film, you never really remember the plot of a movie. Our lives don't have plots really. I think when you think of your life, you're thinking of moments mostly. And as you take in art, you're thinking of how you feel about something. It's usually not tied to it's tied to characters and moments. If something leads you there, so the plot machinations of a film are leading you to those. I think film is moments, or that's what we're really striving for.
And today we're looking at one of the most influential directors of the past 30 years, Quentin Tarantino. And I really think Quentin Tarantino kind of embodies the idea of what stealing cinema is. He puts a lot of homages and film references in his own work, but what he does is he recontextualizes those and really makes his own unique pieces of art with it. And we're going to be focusing on his first film, Reservoir Dogs, that he made in 1992.
SK Billy's super sound of the 70s weekend just keeps on trucking.
And with Reservoir Dogs, he really takes a heavy influence from a 1987 film called City on Fire. It's directed by Ringo Lam and it stars Chow Yun-fat. In Reservoir Dogs, the two main focuses of the movie are Mr. White, played by Harvey Keitel, and Mr. Orange, played by Tim Roth. And for those of you who haven't seen the film, a major spoiler alert ahead. So the big reveal in this film is that Tim Roth is actually a cop. Oh, and wait, what do we have here? It looks like in City on Fire, the undercover cop is played by Chow Yun-fat. And the similarities, they don't end there. While there is a scene in City on Fire of the heist actually going wrong, in Reservoir Dogs, it's actually Mr. Pink, played by Steve Buscemi, who describes the same exact scene in City on Fire. And it goes on as we see here, a car chase that ends with the bad guys crashing their car and a shootout ensuing. Also, the fate of both cops match up closely, with both of them getting shot.
Hold it! Hold it! Right there! Get in the fucking car!
And notice how both hold their guns up for a beat or two? The cops clearly have the same reaction of regret, as they're the ones who are supposed to be preventing this type of violence from happening. And as we can see, the scenes are pretty similar, so I think the homage is pretty clear here. And in both movies, the surviving criminals are able to make it back to the safe house, but tensions are real high. Alright, and now for that same scene, but this time in English.
This man set us up.
Dad, I'm sorry, but I don't know what the hell's happening.
It's all right, Eddie, I do.
What the fuck are you talking about?
That lump of shit's working with the LAPD.
That's right, the bosses of both crime outfits have sniffed out the cop, and both of them want him gone. However, there's a bit of a hiccup in both movies. Mr. White stands up for Mr. Orange, swearing up and down he's not a cop, while Fu, played by Danny Lee, vouches for Chow. Because both of them have been bonding this whole time, neither are willing to admit that their friend could possibly be the cop. And I think this leads to my favorite part of both movies. A really tense Mexican standoff.
You lost your fucking mind.
Joe, you're making a terrible mistake. I'm not.
And if we put these scenes side by side, they're nearly identical.
Larry, stop pointing that fucking gun at my dad!
And then, in both movies, the cops spill the beans to their friends and are forced to face the consequences.
Drop the fucking gun, buddy! Now! Put the gun down! Don't do it!
Drop the gun, man!
Don't
Drop the
do
gun!
it!
Drop the fucking gun!
I'm gonna fucking blow you away!
Alright, and so that's how Quentin Tarantino pays homage to City on Fire. Now, structurally, these movies are different. City on Fire is more of your standard cop drama noir film, while Quentin Tarantino plays more with time in Reservoir Dogs, making it a little bit more non-linear than that of City on Fire. Alright, that's the end of my video. I hope you guys had a really fun time watching the comparisons between the two movies, and you may be subscribed to my channel, and tune in for our next episode.